Hello and welcome everyone. Today I want to talk a little bit about Anaheim 2, which was the third round of the Supercross season and the first Triple Crown event of the season. So that means three main events, both for the 250s and the 450s, instead of only one main event. They were a little bit shorter, of course, but the least points at the end of the night wins the event, and the points are awarded by position. So first gets 1 point, second gets 2 points, and so on. So first main event of the 250, Hampshire had a great shot off the line and had the whole shot to gain the lead of the race. There was a fine battle for first place between Hampshire, Lawrence, Brown, Kitchen, and McAdoo. But unfortunately at one point Lawrence fell, getting kicked from the bike on the Dragon's back, and that was really the first major mistake of the season and of the night, because it wasn't gonna be his last. So we had a spiced up race, because instead of having Lawrence leading the whole race through and cruising on to win unchallenged, he had to come back and made a great comeback, passed so many guys through the field, especially on the inside before the Supercross triple. He made lots of passes, lots of great passes. But then in the end, Hampshire won, Pierce Brown got second, and Lawrence climbed back to get third place on the first main. Now on the second main, that's where the mess was began. It was just chaos. So Hampshire, winner of race 1, was closed by McAdoo and Lawrence on the start, so he had to back off a little and not get a good start. McAdoo had the all shot, but Nicoletti in the end led the race for the first part, passing McAdoo after the first rhythm lane. Lawrence went down again, this time not through his fault completely. He had a contact with Oldenburg. This was the second mistake of the night. Well, if we can call it that, because it's just not was his fault completely. So then McAdoo and Pierce Brown went both down in the same corner when McAdoo had his front end go away, and where there was a little bit of a soft ground, and took down Pierce Brown with him. And at that point, Nicoletti built a 5-second lead, so it really looked all the way. It looked like he was gonna win. It looked like he had great pace and keeping on. Then we got to see Hampshire going slow and looking hurt, like holding his wrist because he looked pretty hurt. So, and then we got to the replay showing him losing the hand in the sand section, and that really was a bad crash. It was a high-speed crash, so he really must have been hurt a bit. Then what happened? Pierce Brown, second in the first main event, went down again through the whoops, having the bike step out a little, losing balance, and then he fell again. But then we see Max Volan on a Red Bull KTM, charging through the field and making it up to second place up to a point, before then going down the same way as Cameron McAdoo on the same corner. So that was the end of that comeback. Really a shame, because he really was showing a lot of speed, and I thought he could catch up to Nicoletti. But then Styles Robertson closed in on Nicoletti at about a minute and a half to the end, and made the pass to get the race lead. Levi Kitchen, Robertson's teammate, executed then a switchback to pass Nicoletti for second. We then saw Jack Lawrence coming back to the field, but hitting McAdoo on a corner, and that was the second big mistake of the night, because he should have anticipated that movement. So came together, but not really a big damage to position. So McAdoo kept on going forward. Lawrence lost, I think, a place, but really was not at the end. And this, at the end of the second main, it was the first Yamaha podium of the season. So that there was Styles Robertson coming in first, second for Levi Kitchen, and third was Phil Nicoletti. So really great race, lots of chaos, and really fun to watch and entertaining. On the third main event, Chad Lawrence made the whole shot this time, trying to come back to win the overall. Kitchen, who was the points leader at the time, was second. Really, Lawrence and Kitchen were flying on the first laps because they just gave a 2-second lead in one lap from third. Then we see Voland block pass on McAdoo, almost coming to a full stop. Brown, trying to go around the outside, gets held up and stalls his bike, causing him to lose some positions. Hampshire, after winning the first race and being hurt in the second one, was just running outside the top 10, which was the consequence of not having a good start, but then fell in the whoops. So that was really, it looked like it was gonna be his night, but it ended badly for him. So in the third main, we're back to the usual. Lawrence winning unchallenged, but Kitchen gets second position, and crucially, with this second position, gets the overall win. The winner of the first Triple Crown event in the season is Levi Kitchen. We cut back to the 450s, and on the first main, we see Chase Sexton putting the whole shot, covering the lead from Roxon in second and Cincerulo third, so great start for the three of them. We retreated to Roxon's crazy line on the rhythm, going to triple on, triple off the tabletop, landing on another tabletop, then stepping off and then tripling before the right-hander and the Supercross triple, which was insane. I think it was the only guy doing that at the time. But then we see Tomac climbing back from 5th, and not the best start really for him, passing his teammate Ferrandis for 4th and Cincerulo for 3rd place. Cincerulo was showing great improvement in the last races. He keeps on going up and building his momentum. He's really getting his confidence up to that level because he's got the pace, but as I said, he's got the pace, but he still can't keep it all throughout the race, and I think he's getting better at that continuously. So I'm really happy for him, and really happy to see him come back like that. We have a last lap battle for 5th position between Jason Anderson and Cooper Webb. Contact between them. Webb went down, so that was 5th place for Anderson. So the results of the first main were Sexton who wins, Roxon came in 2nd, and Tomac made it on the last step of the podium in 3rd. Second main event, we see Anderson having the whole shot with a great start, Roxon in 2nd again, and then on 3rd, Blasinger. Really good start by the KTM rider. We see Chase Sexton, who was really close and winner of the first main, losing the front end while charging for 3rd, trying to pass Aaron Blasinger on the Dragon's back, so that was really a shame. So then we see Blasinger and Roxon fighting for 2nd up until Blasinger lost the front end, just like McAdoo in the 2nd main in the 250s. The same corner, same way, it's just the same fall. So then Tomac, not really having a great start, being hit by Cooper Webb on the start straight, so not really having the best start. He's now starting to charge Roxon for 2nd position. Tomac then passes Ken on the inside, just like Lawrence used to do in the first 250 main, but he can, crucially, he can't make the triple. Roxon jumps, makes the double, and then doubles into the sin section to make the pass back and keep up the position. So we see a nice battle between both of them. Unfortunately, Roxon then went off track 2 corners later and lost the spot to Tomac. And we see Webb charging Roxon for the last step of the podium on the last lap. And Webb also tries to pass Roxon on the same way Tomac did, but he can make the triple. So Roxon keeps 3rd position and brings it home to the finish. So Anderson wins, Tomac in 2nd, and Roxon gets 3rd position. In the 3rd main event then, Anderson had another whole shot and a great start, closely followed by Chase Sexton and Cooper Webb in third. And we then see Tomac trying to use the crazy line to pass Webb for third place, but comes up short on the second tabletop when he has to triple onto the second tabletop from the other tabletop, and that held him back, didn't help him to make the pass. Then Tomac keeps on battling Webb and gaining time using that crazy line that Roxon did. It looked like he was able to use it consistently to be faster than the other guys until at 1 or 2 laps later, I don't remember exactly, but he crashed trying to triple out of the corner onto that tabletop. He just didn't have the right angle, so jumped a little bit to the outside, landing on the tough luck, and he was down. Sexton then passes Anderson for first position and becoming the points leader of this Triple Crown event. And then we see in the last laps Anderson saving a crash, almost going down before the Supercross triple. He managed to keep himself up and not fall, but loses second place to Webb. So in the end, Sexton wins the third main event and the overall, which was kind of like a redemption for Chase Sexton, not having the best start of the season, but having this win was really important for his confidence, of course, and really looking forward to him challenging more for wins and possibly the championship. Could be a championship contender together with Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb. So as always, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment if you want, and check out my other videos if you want to. I'll see you at the next one. Bye!